think to be a highly effective teacher, these dispositions are really something to work on in your profession, but also even just to live by. I think I do many of these dispositions and follow them very well. I'd say the first one that I do a very good job of is having high expectations. I have very high expectations for myself. I want to be the best teacher I can be. I'm going to always push myself to make adjustments to lessons, to just put in the work for grading or to make phone calls home. Um, I'm going to push myself and I have high expectations for myself. And it also goes to the students as well. When the students come in my class, I expect that they walk out of here better than they were before, whether that's a student or just as a person or mentally or whatever the student needs. I want them to be better off. And my expectations are that they are when they're done with this class. I think the next group of dispositions kind of go together. And I do think I do a good job of incorporating these as well. Having respect for diversity for others, compassion and fairness, I do feel like kind of go together. I feel like respecting and understanding the diversity of others is very important. Understanding that people come from different backgrounds, they may speak different languages, they are going to have different learning styles. These are going to be all unique characteristics to them. And I feel like in order to teach a student, you need to understand that student first. To develop in where fairness and compassion come in, I feel like to develop a fair system for every student to get what they need and to be treated how they want to be treated, I think first you need to have that respect for them and have that understanding of their unique situation, of who they are uniquely. Same with compassion. And in order to be able to cater to someone's needs and to understand them fully, you have to kind of understand their background and what they need first. So I feel like those three kind of go together, and I do feel like I do a good job of incorporating that into my teaching and into just my life in general, respecting others. Next, professional conduct, I feel like is so important. I feel like we talk all the time about how, we need to be there for kids. And I think normally that's in like when we talk about in meetings, it means in a classroom, if you notice a kid is feeling down, go over and talk to them. But I also feel like just with professional conduct, we need to make sure that we're just flat out here. In order to be there for a student, you need to be at school in attendance here every day. I feel like that's something I do really well. I don't ever call in. I don't miss days. I present myself in a professional way. I know the students, I have a very professional relationship to them, and they know they can turn to me if they need something. And I'm always here for them. I know the first school I worked at, we had a really difficult attendance with staff, and we had many teachers quit just middle of the year. And the students, they couldn't count on the staff to be there for them. But again, I always saw wins. Maybe in October they thought, oh, this guy might not be here, but by January, by February, they understood that I wasn't going anywhere, that I was going to be there every day. And that was really important to the students. And I definitely saw gains from that. And I think really the most important out of all of these dispositions is dedication. Just overall, everything I've talked about, whether it's showing up every day or making tailoring students' education to meet their needs of their diverse backgrounds. All of this stuff just takes a lot of work, and it is a lot of dedication needed to be a teacher. And I think that is definitely something I live by, and I'm very dedicated to teaching. I think that's the most important of all these dispositions. There's definitely something I could work on too. I know things like curiosity and reflection, these are things that I feel like I was very curious as an early teacher and wanting to make every adjustment, and I would want that for my kids to push their curiosity and be interested in their field. Same with reflection. I would reflect on every lesson and how did it go and make adjustments. 10 years in, I don't do that as much, and it's such an important part of the process of teaching. And so I think that's something I could incorporate more. Same with advocacy. I make a lot of phone calls. I talk to a lot of the stakeholders in kids' education, and it's just always something you can do more of. You can always get more people involved and talk to more people about their kids' education. Overall, though, as far as what a professional educator looks like, I just feel like they look like they follow these dispositions. These are really the guiding principles to teaching, and I feel like that's kind of what the look is.